What is going on, everybody? I am back today to talk about a movie that was released on VOD as of yesterday, and it had a short theatrical run. And I saw the trailer for this a while ago and really was looking forward to watching it. And I was hoping to get to catch it while it was in the theater, but I just didn't get the opportunity to. So now that it's available on VOD, I wanted to watch it immediately. And the film I'm going to be discussing with you today is Ghostlight. Ghostlight is directed by Alex Thompson and Kelly O'Sullivan. When a construction worker unexpectedly joins a local theater's production of Romeo and Juliet alongside his estranged teenage daughter, the drama on stage starts to mirror his own life. So I was very excited to watch this movie after watching the trailer, read a few reviews, heard some really good things, and this is easily one of my favorite movies of the year. It's one of the most beautiful films I've seen all year long. I truly hope that this movie gets the attention that it deserves because it is remarkable, from performances to cinematography to the sound design and the score to the themes that the movie is trying to convey. There are so many incredible things going on here that just move you emotionally. It's genuinely heartwarming. It is hilarious in moments, very depressing and realistically dramatic in others. And I just thought that the way that the directors approach this film, it was just remarkable. I loved everything about it, and I'm really excited to talk to you about the movie today. So at the beginning of the film, we are introduced to Dan, played by Kupferer, and he is married to Sharon, played by Tara Mallen, and they have a daughter, Daisy, played by Katherine Mallen. And we learn a little bit about all three of their lives. Daisy is struggling in school. She's kind of acting out a little bit. Dan is a construction worker, and we follow him through his day-to-day routine, and to him it's very mundane and bland, and he's clearly going through something. His wife Sharon works at a school. We see her working on like a play at the beginning of the movie, and their family has gone through something recently. We're not 100% sure what it is, but there's little hints in the movie that something horrible has happened to their family, and they seemingly have not recovered. And Dan is not willing to address the situation. He doesn't want to discuss it. And he is at work doing construction one day, and he gets a phone call, and he gets very enraged, and he walks out in the middle of the road, and this guy almost hits him with his car, and he pulls the guy out of the car. It gets caught on camera, and Dan is afraid that he is going to lose his job. And in a fit, he starts running around, and he goes by this local theater that is next to the construction site that he's working on, where Rita walks out, played by Dolly, and she says, "Hey, come in here for a minute. Come in here." So he finds this group of people who are performing a production of Romeo and Juliet. And the theater they're in, it's kind of beat up. It's old. Everyone in the cast is a variety of different ages and backgrounds. And he sits there and does the reading, and she says, "You should really come back and keep doing this." And he disagrees at first. And eventually he decides to go back there, and he starts to find solace and comfort in this performance, despite not knowing much about theater. And his daughter, Daisy, is incredibly into musical theater. And so he starts asking her questions, but doesn't really want to give away what's going on. And the entirety of the film is us as an audience learning about this traumatic experience that this family has gone through together. And Dan utilizing this production as a means to let out his emotions and to come to terms and get over this horrible thing that has happened to him and his family. So as I said, this is one of my favorite movies I've watched of the entire year, and for multiple reasons. For starters, I want to talk about the performances here. What I learned shortly after the movie, the three actors that play the mother and the father and the daughter are actually a family in real life. And I think that that makes this movie so much more effective because the relationship between these three feels so palpable and real, and every interaction that they have with one another. What's so impressive is the dialogue delivery is incredible, and the way that they interact with one another, it's just so natural. But what makes it work even more is there's a non-verbal communication through the eyes and through a touch and through a glance and the way you move your body and the way you present your body in a situation like when it's confrontational, that it feels like it could only be achieved through living with someone for so long. And obviously incredible actors are able to make that work, but being an incredible actor as well as being a family adds a completely different dynamic to the situation that makes every single scene hit so much harder emotionally. There are so many standout moments from all three of these actors in this movie that are just hard hitting and beautiful, and that it's very easy to be invested in where this movie goes. I also love all of the actors that work in the theater group. Dolly De Leon especially is phenomenal, but they all have distinct and unique personalities. There's a lot of comedic levity in this movie because the movie is heavy. It has a very heavy and intense dramatic core, and so you have to provide some moments of comedy throughout to kind of give the audience a break from when it gets really heavy. And what I love is how seamlessly the transitions between those scenes are. It's just really effective, and the directors of this film did an amazing job pacing this out. I also love the way that information is revealed to you. I'm not going to give away what the movie is about because it's so much better to just go into it and watch. But the way we learn about what this family has experienced together, you just get little by little revealed as the film goes on. And the implications throughout, once you finally get to the point where you learn the gravity of the situation, it makes that emotional impact so much heavier and so much harder. And I think that restraint really works in favor of the film overall. I love the way that this is shot. There's so many incredible sequences where there's just frames you could pull out that are so beautifully put together. There's a lot of really great close-ups in this movie. The editing is really nice. There's a good shift between handheld and static camera movement, especially a few handheld sequences that really accompany more emotionally chaotic sequences where like someone is going through something very intensely. And I liked the attention to detail in the cinematography. I also really love the score of this film. It accompanies the movie beautifully, and I feel like it really adds to the tone. And this movie, obviously, first and foremost, is about a family overcoming a tragedy and how you kind of work through it. And what's so interesting is you get a multitude of perspectives about this situation, and you can understand where each and every one of them are coming from because it's a very hard situation that I can't even begin to imagine living through. And each one of the family members, the mother, the father, and the daughter, all have different reactions to the scenario, but each and every reaction is valid. And when you try to put yourself in that situation, it would be impossible to know exactly how you would react if something like that happened to you. And I think the way it's captured is in just such a realistic manner that I think anyone can relate. And if you put yourself in the shoes of these characters, be able to feel and experience that. I also love the way that this movie showcases theater as being this place to express yourself emotionally and to find solace in community with other people who appreciate art. And musical theater is something that as a young kid I really loved, and growing up now I still love going and watching musical theater. I love Les Mis. It's one of my favorite musicals. I go to a few musicals every year. I just really enjoy it. And to see this group of people, Dolly De Leon's character especially, who went and did it professionally and got kind of tired of the industry and is still doing it in this way where she's just working in a community theater because she loves it so much. I think that it just showcases the importance of something like that and how much art can impact you in the lowest moments of your life. And this movie just moved me in a way that not a lot of movies this year have. And I think that it's so beautiful and it's so incredibly well made. And I hope that if you watch a movie that I recommend to you this year, please rent this movie. Please go support it and tell other people about it. It is remarkable and it is easily one of my favorite films of the year. So have you seen Ghostlight? Did you love it? Did you hate it? Leave me a comment down below and let me know what you thought. I thought this movie was incredible. I can't wait to buy it physically and watch it over and over again. As always, if you can like the video and subscribe to the channel, helps me out a lot and lets me know the type of content you're looking for. I'm always putting out new material and look forward to getting more out for you in the near future. And as always, everyone, thank you so much for watching and have a great rest of your day.